There we go.
Pusillanimous.
The restart did the job. It was a little thing with my my headphone things. Yeah, it's fine. Now I can hear them. Okay. Oh, we didn't leave a death. We just had a little. We just had a little trouble. We needed to restart. It's fine. La-di-da. Let's resume. You share this bus stop with an old man who shifts from foot to foot, tumbling his suspenders and watching the passing traffic with an anxious focus. Hey! He bursts suddenly, turning towards you. Want to hear a good story? Sure. With the air of a man who, distracting himself from something, he stumbled quickly through the tale of Cassidy Jones, the fastest railroader in America. Confusing himself now and again, backtracking and adding some new details out of order, you barely pieced the story all together. You suddenly realized that he told a twisted version of the story about Cassie Jones, the theatrical railroader, but massively changed, with a whole new chunks you didn't remember. It's true, the old man insisted, turning his wincing eyes back towards the road, and with that the conversation seemed over. Cool. What's that? A horse action. Well, the rest man waves you over. Making some big deals today, he gasped, fingering at Bill, where you can see. Get me where the number 60 goes up, okay? You stand in the crowd and wait, then run back to fetch him. He pays you absurdly well for doing almost nothing at all. Move on. Ah, okay, so that one thing gave me some money. I don't know, I kinda like to ride the thing. This farmer's loitering besides a couple of crates of berries, idly watching the clouds go by, waiting for the pickup. He says, trying to make small talk, "Hey, you wanna hear a wild story?" Sure. He starts telling you about a vengeful ghost who kills anyone who summons it. It takes a couple of minutes, but you recognize it as the story about the ghost who punished spiritualists for their hubris. Whoever told it to the farmer changed, well, a lot, but it's still pretty good. Where'd you hear it? Oh, I can't remember, he says. I think I've known it for years, since I was a boy, for sure. That can't be right. You leave him with his tale. That story happened to me. Bullshit. His laughter rings down the dusty road. You're a good joker. I'll give you that. Of course, didn't believe me. I mean, I don't believe him. Wait a second. Show me the unseen stories. Yeah. I want to see that. A tiny motor mouth is eagerly sharing the details of a strange tale with her brother as they loiter outside his store. The boys listen rapidly, eyes growing larger, mouth hanging open like a fish. She's telling him about the ghost of a well-heeled hobo. You try to hide your surprise. It's the story of the last bottle of Armagnac. The version the girl must have heard is embellished, to say the least, but hey, it's a good story. Okay. Where to next? Seems like there's stories up there in Alabama. and then all the way to Tennessee and stuff. Okay, we'll go to Alabama and then Tennessee. I think you can take this road. See if you can get a card. Also, one small second. No, that's fine. Good. Let's see if this does the job. Some reason. See if you can get a car. I haven't gotten a car yet. Yay! You're right. Nice. Wonder when it's going to take me. Miami? Oh, I didn't want to go to Miami. It's fine. Let's see. Last to ride the road for the first time. Uh-huh. Okay, and he lets me down here. I don't think there are any more stories here. Yeah. Oh well. Let's go back. This is what happens when you hit the wrong road. Oh, that disappeared fast. Oh, middle. I don't think I have a middle thing. Oh, we have a new story or something here. St. Petersburg. The policeman in the truck at the corner is having a pretty wild argument with someone on the other radio. No, he keeps telling. No way. You listen to the man as the radio finishes. A wild story about a bottomless lake of clean water. I swear this is what happened, the cop over the radio insists. That's when it clicks to you. You know the story. It is a stranger version of the story of the winged goat with pristine water, but with some bits left out and replaced. It ain't true, the cop in the truck says. If only he knew. Nice. Let's go there. Walking to Alabama because there is no road out of Miami, apparently. There's only cars going in Miami. No car going out of Miami. Still, it's fine. We're going where we should be. There's even a short story there. Oops. It's nice they put a mini game here. No. I think I met that guy twice already. Let's not push it. These fellas are lounging in the front of a half-finished office building, taking their lunch break. Hey, one calls, waving you down. Rick, you're telling us his story. Listen, okay? Rick was telling us this story. And you tell us if it's bullshit or not. Rick, a credulous slim fellow, starts telling you the story about the bushwhacker's vengeful ghost. He recognizes it as the story of the wounded soldier, but changed in a few major ways. So it's definitely part bullshit, right? But it's also part real. Not bullshit. Half of the group groans. Half of them. How the hell is it supposed to be a real story? Exclaimed the man who waved you down. You are the most gullible pieces of shit I've ever met. The other half of the group, vindicated, shares a bottle of pop with you. I bet even the other thing would have been the same. Pretty sure, right? Anyhow, we're in Tallahassee. Oh, there should be a story here somewhere. Not that I can see. Oh. Should have been around here. I need to sketch some Z's. Fine. We'll talk to this guy again. See if we have some stories for him. Chapter 2.
Old friend, it's good to see you again. I've been thinking about you often since we last met.
Really?
Remember what we talked about before? The young man murdered? I can't get him out of my head.
Oh, I remember.
It's the kind of thing you hear about all the time. The kind of thing I've seen before, but I'm still thinking about it. You got time to talk? Maybe I don't have to be your preacher, and we can just chat. Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary. Just walking, church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures?
Well, not so much, no, but he wants what a thrilling story he wants. Yeah, how about the story with the haunting things? Maybe he'll like that.
Sorry, that kind of thing don't scare me anymore, if that's what you're going for. Traps and chains? They don't keep us chained up with metal no more. They carry the metal instead and show us how quick they'll use it. Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? You must have.
Scary story? I just tried to tell you a scary story. I mean a thrilling one, but okay. He already knows that one? Okay. The dead woman with a yellow ribbon. How about that? You like that one?
Tearjerkers need a little more truth in them, I think. Sadness? I was waiting in it today. That poor congregation.
Also, there's a sad story with a... It's still a sad story.
The old boy died his own self, and the church deacon is stealing more. You must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen?
I don't know, man. About the bottomless lake thing.
Huh. That one's trying to be scary, right? Don't work on me, I guess. This country? Listen, I saw his face. I opened the lid and saw what they did. A country that lets the men who did that to him live full, happy lives. If you have any spooky campfire tales, feels appropriate out here.
Spooky. Don't know, man. Don't think I have any more spooky. No, about the tree thing. So that's spooky. What do you think?
Different folks have different senses of humor, I suppose.
That was funny.
Joy?
Okay.
I'm a man of God, but I don't have no joyous Holy Spirit running through me. The only time I smile is when the congregation does. You must have
This
seen some
night
pretty
was a
wild
total
stuff on the
bust,
road.
but at least I got
What's
some
the
Z's.
most exciting thing you've seen?
The man that seemed alright with death. What about the bootlegger thing? Is that funny or what?
I swear I ain't heard a story good as that in a long minute.
So that is considered a good one. Okay.
Authority? Each day people want different things from God. When I step up to the pulpit, I always need to decide which Jesus I will bring with me.
What Jesus? Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Anger in the temple? Kindness to its cruelest captors? No, today it was the Jesus in the garden. Confused, desperate for assurance, doubtful. The most human the divine ever was. I've got to go now, friend. Headed to a congregation over this way. Long walk alone, and this boy won't leave my head. And I keep thinking, I left America when I was his age. Lied on the forums. Told him I was 25 when I was 17. I'd heard that the 369th Infantry Regiment needed a chaplain, so I told him I was a preacher. Don't get me wrong, I believed fervently, but I wasn't no reverend. I just memorized a few verses, some psalms, enough of the commandments to make them think I was a true man of God. Oh, my proud, arrogant lips.
Cool. So I guess we finished the thing there. Nice. It wasn't a total waste. Now we have that dude's chapter 3. Okay. We'll go get those stories and then close to him. Still in Florida, we have one here. A preacher's watcheth you with an old book, suspicious, pity. He beckons you into the church and starts counting cash out of the donation box. Hush, he said, trying to silence your thanks. He piles the coin in your hand. You look like you need it more than we do. Oh, Jesus. Been getting a lot of cash. I'm gonna charter a plane with all the cash I got.
Electric lamps stipple the cotton field before you with an orange light, moving like a group of lethargic fireflies. From the field, the voices of the workers reach you in a soulful, united song. You're gently lulled to sleep as the song floats over you. Hello, Lordy, pick a bale of cotton. Hello, Lordy, pick a bale a day. You're pulled out of your slumber by a woman's pained scream and a collection of shouts rising from the field. The woman's screams taper off, soon replaced by the raw cries of an infant. Applause briefly fills the night, eventually fading back into song. Oh, Lordy. You wake up to the gentle crescendo of the worker's song, unsure if it ever ceased at all.
Oh, she gave birth there. In the fields. Go forward. Mobile. See what Mobile has. I think that's a train thing now.
Faded shotgun houses sit in rows under the tall shadows of smokestacks. A worker in full uniform hollers from a porch. "Hey, traveler, join me inside. Got some literature here."
Literature.
As you shut the door, the man glances out the window and draws the shades. "Landlord toss you out? Ha, don't mind me, it's none of my business." He pries up a floorboard with a crowbar. You glance over the man's shoulder to see inside the compartment canned goods, a pile of leaflets, the wood stock of a rifle. He replaces the board and stands. He hands you a can of whole potatoes, then a leaflet which reads, "No evictions, no fascists, no hunger." "Headed back to the shop, but we'll have a Bible meet soon."
Bible
meet?
meet?
If you don't know James 5:1 by heart, learn it. That's our favorite scripture.
James 5:1 by heart. You know, could look that up. No idea what it is. Gamerinno. James 5:1. Go now, ye rich men, weep and howl, for your miseries shall come upon you. Oh boy. Okay. There should be another one around here somewhere. I guess not. Can't see anything. Oh well. Where to next? Yeah, let's go north. It's fine. Hold on. Yep, north it is. Let's go.
The lightning starts in the next valley over. Then the wind picks up. The long grass hisses, and suddenly it's raining so hard you can barely breathe without a hand over your mouth.
Damn.
The lightning momentarily illuminates a farmhouse on the opposite hilltop, the only one for miles. Much closer, though, is a silhouette of a dilapidated barn.
Make for the barn. Head for the house. Make for the barn.
It's mostly dry here. Perhaps that's why every corner of the barn has a soaked, silent traveler crouching. 15 or 20 of them, all staring in your direction, all blinking, all curiously dressed in the same brown coat. One silently points you to a spot of your own.
Yeah, sure. You're
They
listening.
scurry back and forth across the floor of the barn all night long, whispering to one another. When you wake, it's late, and every single one of them is gone, along with some of your cash.
Well, I had plenty of cash. I wonder if I still have any. Ah, I have half a cash. Okay. It's fine, we're traveling by foot mostly anyway. Oh, there were some stories here. If I'm not mistaken, in this direction. Probably. Montgomery. Cool. We got to the guy again.
The woman finds you as you wander the streets. "Come with me, child," she says, looking you up and down. "We're going to church."
Okay.
Follow her to a simple clapboard building. There's no steeple, but a cross is painted on one side. Inside, you sit for what seems like years as the preacher drones on about the various virtues expected of his faith. Brevity is not among them, apparently.
There should be another one, but there's no sign of it. And that guy. I'm going to meet this guy a bit later, it's fine. Ah, the choo-choo train. There's another person there I don't think I've met. I'll much rather talk to a new person before I get to that guy again. Get more stories and stuff. Let's see.
You pass a meadow where migrants have made a campsite. It's been trampled to pieces. A few families are fleeing, running as fast as they can back up to the roadside. An enormous bull stretches himself beside some of their squashed supplies.
Sure, let's take some.
You inch close, and the bull charges. You sprint blindly through the high grass and trip hard into a sunken stream bed, dropping everything you own into the rocky shallows. The bull paces on the bank like a victorious general until you're sufficiently humbled. Then it saunters into the high grass.
The bull who terrorized travelers on the road. Okay. This kindly old man shares the shade under the bridge with you, tells a few rambling stories, some true seeming, some conspicuously less so. All true, he assures you. There's a story in this place, going all the way back to Indian times. Strange stuff happening around here. Sure it is, he scoffs, and then, as if to prove himself right, he launches into a story about a sugarcane farmer who took criminals from the jails and walked them in the fields until they died. And this one, you know, is the story of the sugarcane cutters blinded to the threat of death. But wilder and stranger than you remember. See then, the old man laughs. So I ain't putting your leg, it's all true. Half a life, as well as half a money. Let's talk to this guy. New guy.
I take a look at you. Figure we're heading to the same place. You've been walking a long time, same as me, trying to find where you fit. You ever wonder if if that place don't exist? No shame in it, I do. Plenty of time I wonder if I'll just walk forever. You start to wonder, how did I get here? When you're alone, all you have is all this time. Time to trace the lines back to where things started. But tell me, what's the wildest thing you've seen out there so far?
Wildest thing. What did impress the other guy? That's a scary story. About this one.
Come on, you can't shock me.
That's a shocking story. Okay.
Wishes come true. My father was born a slave, died free. I was born free, and as a young man, I still felt like I was dying a slave. You got any good happy stories where things work out for someone, maybe?
Oh, I think I do. Let's see. I think that's a funny story. Yeah, the two brothers that met each other. That's a funny one. I mean, a happy one.
That was a good one. Wish I could have your stories around when I'm in a dark place, you know? Family. Sharecroppers Union told me they were like a family. You ever get in a firefight for your brothers and sisters? But anyway, you know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight.
Tragedies. About the dogs. About that. Is that a tragedy? The doggy one?
Body and soul.
Guess you like that one.
No one would say my father was free. Sometimes I think about whether my father would find my life all that different from his. But anyway, now I feel like hearing a hopeful story. Got any of those?
Hopeful, hopeful, hopeful. About the pig farming thing. What was that?
I guess we all got a different sense of humor.
Oh, funny. Okay. Pig feet.
Faith. My father told me to trust in the Lord. Look where that got me. So, tell me a sad story. Sad and true, okay?
Sad and true. I think the kid story was sad and true, right? Yeah. Quinn.
I hear you. Stories about traveling went good, I suppose. When I first picked up the mood, it weren't by choice. It had me in shackles.
Oh, buddy.
Here's the sun. I got to get going. My route goes up this way, but I sure did enjoy talking to you.
Cool.
It's probably the kind of story you've heard a million times. Down on your luck, need work, take whatever you can get. How about you? Does my life sound familiar?
Well, I'm gonna scroll my name on the bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig my heels into
Is there another one here that I missed? Oh, that way.
'cause when that ferryman comes for to tally up my worth, I won't leave much to find that can be found.
Listen to this, burst a boy loitering outside the grocery store. He works his way through a long, strange story about a vulgar ghost trapped in a bottle. There, he finishes. What do you think? You know the story. It's the story of the 3 bottles on the branches, but wildly altered. For a couple of owners, you are too surprised to respond. Seriously, the boy insists. What do you think? Is that true or not? Great story. He smiles sheepishly. Thank you. Heard it from my brother.
'Cause when my coals burn low and my trains run out of track, won't be no one else to dig my hole.
There's something there.
Well, I got no companion.
Kind of sad if you die in this place. What's that? The arrow pointing down. Ah, a picnic blanket stewed. I think I got my heart back. With half-eaten luncheons lies abandoned. Wait, the pile of coats is of an old woman. My grandchildren all wanted to go swimming, she complains, but no one wanted to stay with me. She feeds you well, good food in exchange for quiet company. Nice, got our health back.
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long. When the night
A bus roars up on the road behind you, then slows to a crawl at your side. Inside, you can barely see people moving, dancing, swaying. Strings of lights, strange smoke.
Want a ride?
The driver calls. Before you can open your mouth, a huge hairy hand like an animal's paw lands heavy on her shoulder. Not this one, a voice growls, so deep it vibrates your rib cage. The driver shrugs, leaves you in a cloud of perfumed exhaust.
Strange bus, mean Diddy. It's a train thing there. What's this?
Here's a derelict school building, shutters nailed shut, wind-drifted dunes piled against the walls, broken desks lined up in the basketball court. While you rest on the front porch, the doors open, and someone gives a startled yelp. He's an older man, tidy and unshaven, carrying a toolbox in one hand and brandishing a broom in the other. "Don't squat here," he growls. "We're not abandoned."
Stand your ground or run away. Stand
He
our
gives
ground.
you a hard look, but relents and joins you in the shade. "I used to teach here," he says, staring off across the baseball diamond. "Now they just pay me to keep the roof up."
Yep. Who's that guy over there? Some dude there as well. And should be like another story here.
my spade up upon my wearied back. I'm gonna keep lacerates tucked in my soul.
Hop on a train. It's fine.
'Cause when my coals burn low and my trains run out of track, won't be no one else to dig my hole.
Nashville. Just can't put this guy. Whoa, where are they going, dude? Can't put a dude. I wonder if I can go all the way to Alaska. Probably not. I should have. I would have to go through Canada, right?
I was born a poor girl in Memphis, Tennessee. No father, he run out. No mama either. She was there, but she weren't there really. All alone but for my Uncle Richard, my baby brother Marcus. All alone but for the guitar. Ooh, now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it.
Tragedy, tragedy, tragedy. Oh, this guy's left.
I drink to that. I wasn't one to accept death. To live beside it, that wasn't my way. I told myself I was running away to take care of my brother Marcus. But I was just running. Ooh, how about a story about the dark and scary things in the world?
Dark, scary things. Well, this one. I think I told this one. Anonymous grave.
My sad right now.
That's a sad one.
I don't like to think about the past. When I lay down to bed now, I hear Marcus cry out to me. He's hungry, he says. When I was a girl, all I wanted was to help him. Ooh, now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it.
Tragedy, tragedy, tragedy. Shaw's life and death. Oh, is that tragic? Tell the story of Shaw, focusing on tragic
Oh,
parts.
now that pain. Authority. The man who told me he loved my songs. But when we got to Chicago, I knew he just loved my story. Little black girl all alone in the world. And would you tell the audience what this song means, child? I'm in the mood for a good, hopeful story. You got any?
Well, I do. Well, this one, the fastest dude. This help.
Those thrills don't really move me.
Ah, that's a thrill story?
Well,
Okay.
you wanna I've been on the road since I was a little girl. Life on tour ain't easy, especially not when you're 13. Ooh, now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it.
Damn, so much tragedy. What's this with the thirsty dudes? Don't even know what that is.
The world ain't all sunshine, you know. Heaven. The white man showed up in Memphis. Heard me singing for dimes outside the barber shop. I thought he was an angel when I met him. Sun is up. One more night gone. I need to be going.
Sure.
You want to hear more about the deal I made? You can look for me up the road this way.
See
I
ya.
was about 25 when I left my first record contract. No more richer than I was before. Those men took me around like a freak show. Me and my guitar, my sad songs. I didn't know what to do once I was free again. Alone, drinking my sorrows. That's where the devil found me.
Oh. You see a Wolfie? Chapter 2 now available for some reason. And I didn't even... Well, I guess Nashville is known for the songy songs. Enter Nashville. Ooh, I can enter the city. This tired city. But things are changing, say the locals. For instance, the local full-size replica of the Pantheon has been rebuilt. Huh? You mosey down the way for a look. Can earn some money. You wander the stretched seas looking for a way to make some cash. Look for work. Miraculously, you're the first the people in line to the factory doors open. You join a crowd of people streaming through the machine room towards the back. When the doors to the furthest storage room opens, though the folks in front ranks recoil, even a few screams. What the hell? You wanna get paint, don't ya? Shouts the foreman. Get in there, get in! The folks behind you shovel forward, and soon you're pushed inside. The room is full of snakes. Stay and work, I guess. Grab 'em, shouts the foreman, passing our nets. They're harmless. The remaining workers go over their fear and start scooping up snakes by the netful. The beast hiss pathetically. You dump them in a chute in the far wall. It does pay pretty well. During lunch you rest on the warehouse floor. The snakes pile up in the corner and you watch with enormous suspicions. It's then that you glance up a window and notice a fading logo outside. Sylvester's Brass Fine Boots. Poor snakes. There is even a store. Hot chicken, really. Coffee, orange juice. Ah, these things replenish stuff, but they're pretty full on my end. Let's explore.
From the windows of the store, you can hear a radio, turned all the way up, tuned to the Grand Ole Opry show being played across town. Two young girls sit outside listening to the music. Suddenly, it cuts off, and they howl in protest. The place is dark and empty. There's certainly no radio to be seen, nor any people. Just a lot of sad dust, marked where the furniture used to stand. Footprints of old memories. When you turn around, the children have left.
Spooky. Train station. Nah, it's fine. Can go by foot. So I guess some cities you can explore. I didn't go to Kentucky, so let's go to Kentucky. And whatever the thing. Oh, that one has lots of Indiana. I think lots of stories there, and there is a water crossing as well. I think that's the right way to go. Yes. I think that's the crossway there. I see it. There we cross. Nice. Listen to this! Burst out a boy loitering outside his grocery store. He walks this way through a long, strange story about the Blue Hole of New Jersey. There, he finishes. What do you think? You know this story. It's the story of the bottomless lake of clean water, but wildly altered. For a few moments, you're too surprised to respond. Seriously, the boy insists. What do you think about that one? Great story. Thanks, my brother told me. Brother's doing all the hard work, telling all the stories. Yes, this isn't a big enough city for me to do stuff in.
The man lowers his paper as you come near. His weather-beaten face is drawn. They say it's spreading. The dust is strangling the land. Half my cattle suffocated in the last storm. We cut open the carcasses to salvage the meat. They were filled with mud.
Oh, geez.
He licks his cracked lips. They stay dry. His land is dying. If the harvest fails again, people will too. You look past him, over his dust-choked fields. You can't imagine anything growing here. Where would we go? My family came here for a fresh start. All we have is our claim. His voice is hoarse. We came here when there was no more work back home. Now this. If we leave, it'll just be something else.
That's
Your skin
true.
prickles gently, though the sky is still clear. Duster's on its way. Big one. He calls after you. Come by in a week. I doubt there'll be a building left standing. Getting married, the soldier tells you. The two of you observe
Yeah, finally.
from the dusty road,
I love story.
straining to hear the faint joy of the ceremony transpiring within. I fought for 10 years to come home because she said she'd be here, waiting for me. And look, can you believe it? So what am I supposed to do? What does she expect? That I should throw myself from the nearest cliff? Walk into the ocean? He snorts, sets off down the road.
Yeah, I need the love story. I can follow him.
You wait a while. Eventually, the bride emerges from the church
I need my love story, man. I'm sorry.
and looks out over the cornfield. When she sees you, and only you, her posture falls in a full-body sigh. She picks up the hem of her dress and goes back inside.
Yeah, we have a... Sorry for the dude, but we have a story. Story's more important, damn it.
Here, can you find her? His voice is soft, cooing. He's lowered himself down so that his head is level with the two blonde-topped boys next to him. Can you find Grandma? They're pulling ears of corn off stalks with uncommon gentleness. There
Just
she
watch.
is. He points to a specific cob. It's enormous, but otherwise unexceptional. We gave her back to the corn, and now the corn has given her back to us. One of the boys, awed, reaches out with a reverent hand to touch the cob.
Oh man, They used grandma as fertilizer.
This one's not for eating, the man continues. No, this one we keep. Come on, boys. We better get home before dinner time. Harvest starts tomorrow. He turns to lead his children back towards where you're standing. He seems beatifically distracted as he gingerly carries the pristine ear of corn in one hand, never noticing you. His children tail after him. One of them, his blonde mop of hair mirroring the bright yellow maize, seems to glance at you, but not really understand what he sees. And there it is, subtle but perceptible. A patch of red spots on his face, fuzzy and fungal, like the omnipresent rust that you've seen on leaves here and there in every cornfield. Except this one, of course.
Corn farmer and his children.
Grow and blossom as you watch. The man goes down the line, applying a few drops from the vial as he goes. As a liquid soaks in, each plant pushes up from the soil, unfolding and stretching for the sky.
That's miraculous.
He turns to you. It's quite something, isn't it? Soy here strangles the crops. People are starving. But even when the plants survive, they don't grow fast enough to fill people's bellies. He smiles. My miracle formula will change that. He shakes his head. I'm not giving up my secrets that easily. The state will pay a lot of money for this. He shakes the vial. He tears off a leaf. Here, try some. It's just bitter at first. But as you swallow, the fibrous mass burns in your throat. You fight to hold it down, and your stomach knots tight when the plant matter hits it. You cough and hiccup. The man looks at you, curious. What do you think?
Tastes like unwashed to death.
He waves a hand. Well, yes, there are some kinks to work out, but people are starving. They can't be fussy. It won't be long before no one around here goes hungry again. Your stomach protests. You feel like you'll be hungry again very soon indeed.
The man reads the newspaper, barely contained horror. His grimace spreads wider as he makes his way down the page. Suddenly his frown cracks into something of more amazement. Whoa, he says. What's the matter? He reads a story about a trickster who lures humans with magic stones. You are shocked at the story of the girl with the strange stones. What do some bits change? Do you think this really happened? Oh yes. He shrugs. Sounds like nonsense to me. The stuff that they print nowadays. Yeah, they printed that. Cool. Well, got rid of quite a lot of stories, didn't we? Can you see one there? And train station and stuff. Is there one of those cities I can investigate?
There's a truck parked here. The driver mistakes your look for curiosity. You want to see something interesting? He asks, pointing to the trunk. He opens it. There's hundreds of metal tubes with little numbered screw-on caps sorted in wooden racks.
Cool. What is it?
We've been surveying, he said. It's my job to study soil health. The trunk has a map taped to it, marked with numbered dots. I can show you the one from your hometown if you see it here.
It's not on the map.
It's an official-looking map, but the state borders and rivers are wrong. Half your county is missing. The surveyor offers you a coin for directions to your hometown, but his notes are funhouse mirror English writing. Fascinating, he murmurs. We learn so much from you folks.
I guess I got a coin out of that. Let's see Cincinnati. We don't really need the money or the train station. You can look at the store. We're fine. Let's explore.
The corridors of Cincinnati's music hall reverberate with the sounds of an orchestra warming up for rehearsal.
If we unbolt the light rig, we can crush them,
says a voice up ahead. No, another answers. Hiding Baldy's baton will be sufficient to stop the din. The tuxedoed men are slightly transparent. Mustachio on the right has his arms folded. The weaselly one on the left scowls. They start at your arrival.
I'm gonna undo those bolts.
Weasel feature vanishes into thin air.
Damn it all,
says the other man.
Are you a ghost?
We used to be members of the orchestra until, well, you know. Patrick doesn't care for the new blood. It seems like talent died with us, so he does his damnedest to stop them playing. But I can't allow violence against fellow artists. Help me stop him.
How do I stop a ghost?
With the right tool, you can banish them from the hall. You see, no spirit can stand the sound of the purest of all instruments.
The piano,
No,
the violin,
no,
the banjo.
no.
He shakes his head,
The
exasperated.
triangle.
No! The triangle! The orchestra has one, but their percussionist's a sop. He never hits it right. If you can get there, you can ensure the only thing brutalized here today is Chopin.
The
Okay.
orchestra is midway through practice. They're in dire need of it. The percussionist dozes on his stool. Everyone's oblivious to the muttering from the lighting rig. You sprint down the aisle and elbow through the incensed musicians. The percussionist falls off his stool as you clamber over his xylophone. You grab the beater and bring it down onto the triangle, eliciting a pure, resounding note. And the rafters ring with laughter. The mustachioed ghost appears next to you, doubled over, invisible to the furious orchestra.
I never thought you'd fall for that. The triangle, for God's sake. Thanks for shutting them up, though.
Mischievous ghosts of Cincinnati Music Hall. Lol. Lols. Can I cross the river? You know what? I bet I can. I'm going to wait for a car. Oh no. Can cross here. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, let's cross. Hold on. Ah! I crossed the wrong way. That's hilarious. I went back. I didn't mean to go down. Yeah, we need to go up. Derp. Get lost with these things. Columbus. Sure. Oh, there's a story here. You wait in the soup line for over an hour, is barely crawling along around the corner of the building and see far away a lone pair of nurses struggling to ladle up soup to hundreds. But I'm waiting here for a while. You hear her talking. After a while, the topic drops into a strange place. She starts telling you about the hotel where the travelers lie awake, while cursed toddler ghosts froth Satan's own tantrums. You recognize it as a story about a hotel haunted by the ghosts of the twin toddlers, but way more outrageous. That's not exciting, my version. Cool. We have a new version.
You've seen migrant camps before, and they tend to look like the town dump. This one, though, on a good day, this could pass for a town. Starched white tents stand tall and many, and a stroll through the grounds finds you neither trash nor trouble. You hear some chatter from a large tent on your left. On your right, a tent in the shadow of the trees emanates a soft buzz.
Let's go there.
You pass through a shroud of flies into a curtained waiting area. The air is pregnant with the stench of rotten meat, but the area is empty, almost clean, except for the black stains that have seeped into the soil. There's only the curtain, which reaches all the way from one end of the tent to the other. It wears a black overcoat and a white porcelain mask with a fat, sharp beak. There's a butcher's knife in its gloved hand.
This is the pest house.
It snaps in a woman's voice and yanks the curtain shut.
Best house? What? You share this bus stop with an old man who shifts from foot to foot, thumbing his suspenders. Tell me a good story, yes. With the air of a man who is distracting himself from something, he stumbles quickly through a tale about the deer which chose death over enslavement, confusing himself now and again, backtracking, adding new details out of order. You barely piece the story together. Hey, Mystic. You realize suddenly that he told a twisted version of the story about the white deer, but massively changed. Morning. We're playing a story game. A game with stories in it. How are you? Americana, Stories of Americana from the 20s, I think.
Why, hello there. Look like that's a heavy bag you're carrying. Let me get that for you. I insist.
Sure.
You see this uniform? It means you can trust me to make sure this is the most comfortable journey you've ever had in your life. Who am I? Well, I'm no George, I'll tell you that. But that's not important. This trip is about you, friend.
Ooh.
You got
Trip.
any stories with a bit of excitement to them?
Stories with a bit of excitement in it. Just tired, but I'm here. Grab yourself a nice cup of joe. Some excitement stories. Which stories were exciting? Maybe this one. The story of the farmer who took criminals from jails and worked them in the fields until they died. How about that? Is that exciting enough for him?
So, does that one scare you?
It's supposed to be a scary story. Derp.
When it comes to the job, the right and wrong choices are pretty simple. When a passenger pays good money for a trip, it's only natural they expect a good trip in return. So a porter will treat you right because it's the right thing to do. Anyway, you must have some funny stories to tell. Share one.
Okay, funny stories. We finally even got a love story. Funny stories. I think... yeah, this one. Vulgar ghost trapped in a bottle. Maybe you like that one.
Oh, that's a good one. Very good.
I guess you weren't here to actually listen to the stories, mistake, but what can I say? I'll find more. There are like 200 of them in this game.
Happiness and the joy he brings to passengers the good way.
And then I have to find, with those stories, I have to make these guys talk. For a wolf character, which I think is the devil or something.
You know what we call this job? Miles of smiles, friend. Miles of smiles.
Miles of smiles. Okay.
Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good happy story. You got me?
We do got one. Yes, it's a classic. Some dudes. Oh, maybe this one is a funny one. Let's see. With the two porters, the two lighthouse keepers.
Just like I told you, friend. Miles of smiles.
It is a funny one. Nice. Sometimes they tell you the story and I'm not quite sure if they're sad or whatever.
The past. That's a tricky thing.
Anyway, the thing is to open that guy's eye so he passes to the next chapter of his life when you next meet him.
Porters may remind you of a certain type of way folks of our type used to be. There's no fighting that, just happily working past it. Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those.
Optimistic. Strange man hiding in the rain somewhere in Alabama. About that? Is that optimistic?
Not sure my brothers will find that one particularly scary.
Oh, it was supposed to be scary. Yeah. So I found some dudes in a barn and we were all protecting from the weather, and then they left and they stole some of my money. But every time I told these stories, they evolve, and become more and more ridiculous and stuff.
Travel? We've all got places to be, and we've all got to get there somehow. So why not get the getting there to be as good as it can get? See, that's really important when getting there is all you got. Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those.
Optimistic. I think the story of the two brothers meeting themselves after 30 years is a good one. Let's see if I... Yep, two brothers who reconnected after 30 years apart. Might like that one.
A positive attitude. That's what I like
Yeah.
to hear. If you're looking for family, you know why a porter can treat a passenger better than anyone else? Because when you step on this train, you're family.
Family.
It doesn't matter who you were before or who you're going to be after you step off. Another night over. I surely did enjoy all those stories, though. Maybe next time I'll let down my hair a bit. What do you say? You must excuse me, friend. What kind of porter am I saying this trip is all about you, only to start talking about my own damn self? But enough of my indulgences. I hope I see you again.
Okay. We'll be a bit up north. Cool. See if we find more stories. We got our Z's.
The storm swept in just before sundown, heralded by a purple sky and electricity in the air. He sought shelter alongside a grizzled farmer. All he can do is pace, muttering to himself.
Can't just stay here.
You catch.
Gotta find her.
Yeah, these are the stories.
He looks up at you.
My daughter was out down the road.
He balls his fists.
God. Fuck this.
He hauls open the door, shielding his face from the fierce dust. He runs out into the storm.
And depending what you do, depends what type of story you'll get. So you'll get to try to help them or stay inside. And I eventually got all the types of stories I need. Let's try to help them.
Dust scours your skin, and razor winds whip at your clothing. You struggle for breath. The maelstrom has turned the world murky red. You don't see the farmer. You press on through the storm. You see the farmer up ahead.
Ah, I lost half a life.
A great, dark shape made from swirling dust looms over him. You manage no more than a cough. The dust thing engulfs the man in his body. The storm whips faster. You can't breathe. You have to get back to shelter. You make it to safety, but don't manage any sleep. Storm settles in the early hours. You find the farmer laid out in the street, his corpse a shriveled mass. He has one arm stretched out in front of him, as if to crawl.
Great, I lost half my life. I don't even know if I die in this game. But I've been losing and gaining life and stuff, so I assume. Where the hell are we? In Ohio. There's some Pennsylvania stuff there. Guess we could meet the kid again in Pennsylvania. Have some stories for the kid. Is that where we're going as well? Yep. Okay, let's see what this is.
By nightfall, the hospitality of this sleepy hamlet, combined with their superstitious tales, has both overstuffed your stomach and filled you with a hollow dread. Folks say these woods are full of apparitions, witches, and worse. You curse yourself for getting on the road so late. In the moonlight, every valley and hollow at the feet of the Tappan Zee seems like a stolen shred of the abyss itself. Fireside tales seem less fanciful, and every cackling crow and moaning whippoorwill seems like a demon perched on the shivering, spindly trees. But something cuts through the noise. The muffled sound of hooves galloping on the cold, muddy road. When he finally slows his horse alongside you, it's as though he had just appeared out of the mist. He's astride a gigantic black courser, and though his boots are muddy and ragged, he wears an immaculate coat with great, shining buttons. From his saddle hangs an antiquated flintlock and a cavalry saber. In the darkness, you can hardly see above his towering shoulders. His voice is a rumbling croak, deep, but as though his throat is filled with thorns. Have you happened upon a cannonball around here? You can tell English isn't his first language. German is. His hand, so pale it's almost blue in the moonlight, grips the reins in a fist.
Sorry, I haven't, bro.
You mumble an apology and watch as he silently rides away, back into the mist. He's cloaked in black, you notice from behind, but the blood running down over his shoulders glints crimson in the moonlight.
You wait in the soup line for over an hour. It is barely crawling along. You round the corner of the building and you see far away a lane of nurses struggling to ladle out soup to hundreds. Gonna be waiting here for a while, sighs the mother in line beside you. You and her get talking. After a while, the topic drifts into a strange place, and she starts telling you about the two brothers who wandered seeking one another for 50 years. You recognize the story about the two brothers who reconnected after 30 years apart, but way more outrageous than your version. You tell her your version. That's not as exciting, she says diplomatically. I mean, I'm sure. Sounds realer than what I heard, but I think Toby likes mine best. She bounces her child encouragingly on her hip, but Toby's too hungry to smile. Okay, that thing grew. Let's see what the kid has to say, if we have some stories for the kid. Quinn.
Stranger, it's good to see you again. You know, I'm gonna see this whole world one day, but for now, I just got my sights set on seeing all 48 of the great U.S.
The Great 48. What happened to the last two, man?
I already seen 10 whole states. That's better than my folks ever done, that's for sure. Plenty of townies and even some tramps treat me like I'm kid simple, but I ain't helpless, and I only act it when I ain't got no better choice, like if I get pinched. I do right fine on my own, don't need nobody but Cass and Flip. You got any stories that are a little sad?
Stories that are a little sad. Your story's a damn little sad one. I keep telling to other people. They liked it. They liked your sad story, dude. Oh, he already knows the story of the truth. Ah, okay. How about this one? The love one. The one that...
Shoot, I ain't teared up. Just got something in my eyes, all.
Yeah. The dude that came after 10 years to marry his sweetheart, and she was marrying another.
Love story. Well, some of the songs say love is like being sick in your heart. Don't sound too pleasant to me. I love my dogs, but it don't feel like being sick. Being sick in your heart sounds more like getting Judased, something I know a thing or two about. Hey, do you got any really thrilling stories to tell? I'm hankering for one of those.
Hankering for a really thrilling story. About a grave robber, dude. Is that thrilling?
Ain't life got enough tearjerkers here without telling
Ah, that was a
stories like
sad one.
Jeez.
Okay.
Sadness. Ain't seen no sight sadder than in the city. In the city, they want you to feel like a giant among giants, like you can do anything. But I seen them shanty camps full up with folks who got nothing to eat or do. Cities serve to make the small feel smaller. I want to hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something. Scary stuff.
Ghosts and murderers. Okay, I got some ghost stories. No, not that one. Story lightning. Farmers who hid their murdering son. That's a... Yeah, the murder thing.
Wow, that's the stuff, stranger. Spooky campfire tales are my favorite.
Delighted.
You want to talk about heaven? Ain't no good I can recall coming my life from praying. Small things, big things, no answer all the same. Hey, tell me a funny story. You seem like you still got a sense of humor.
About this one, the vulgar ghost trapped in the bottle.
That was a chuckle to be sure.
Yeah, you liked it.
Joy. I surely have seen some joyful scenes in my travels. Just a few trains back, I was invited to partake in a harvest by some kindly folk. Had quite the feast, and the dogs got to run around a farm. Wasn't till after I was heading out that I saw the little baby graves. Strange to play stand-in for ghosts. Seems joy's all mixed with sadness these days. Makes my head hurt. I want a story that scares me. Now I'm older, almost nobody can do it. Give me your best shot.
Oh, scary story. The story of the whirlpool watching for death. How about a guy that knew he was going to die? Where was that? The story that with the man that seemed alright with death in North Carolina. How about that?
I don't get too much out of tales that are so cheerful. Not
That's
enough
cheerful?
excitement for me.
Holy moly! The guy died at the end of that story.
Huh, the future. I suppose I'll just keep heading west. California sounds mighty fine, and most everyone is heading that way anyhow. Well, sun's coming up, so I've got to get ready to go. Thanks for the tales, friend.
Yeah, no problem.
Where you heading next? Decided yet? Maybe our paths will cross. I'm going up the road this way myself.
He's going to Southwest Virginia.
hope I'll see something fun. I generally do, you know. There's interesting things to see everywhere if you keep your eyes open.
Interesting. And we're in Pittsburgh. It's break time at this half-finished bridge. The workers are gathered around the young man who sits on a bucket like a king. They listened raptly to the story about the cloud tinged with a color no human had seen before. You realize it's the story of the light from the sky, but heavily embellished. The young man on the bucket tells it masterfully. It's nothing close to what actually happened, but the version is pretty good. Cool. Better version. Where should we head up next? Had quite the journey. The white lines there. That's where I went. Went all the way to Florida and came back. On foot, no less. Is there like a couple of stories there in New York, and then we can go back to Michigan? Okay. Where is north? This way? Okay. I think that's the right way. Need to go north. I don't think I can cross mountains and stuff though. Well, these aren't too bad. I can cross these. There's even a story here. The scalding woman surprises you by offering a job. Help me fix the damn pump, and I'll stuff your full of pipe you can't move. Stuff you full of pipe. She barks. She got a permanent frown like a cow shat on her shoes. She's a fast worker and a quick wit. And her pie's phenomenal. Ah, cool, I got my health back. Nice. Let's get these New York stories. You spend a while in the cool shade of a gas station. You notice 3 kids sitting beside their family car, while their parents argue loudly with the cashier inside. The children seem embarrassed. You see the oldest brother who leans over and distracts his siblings with a story. Let's see which one it is. The story about a ghost of a woman executed in Paris long ago. Oh, it's the one with the... She's now executed. She was just a lonely chick in New York when I met her. And now she's executed. She was murdered, I think, at one point, and now she's executed. The dead woman in the yellow ribbon, yeah. Well, that evolved. I think your goal is to fulfill the obligation to the wolf by fulfilling all 16 characters scattered throughout the US and trade stories with them until you earn their trust and finish their story. So, the 16 dudes.
Outside the small thicket of apple trees, the phrase "tended to by John Chapman" is carved into a fence post. Nearby, a hound lies on its side, perfectly still. Flies buzz around its ears. But a grizzled man pauses at his digging to shoo them off.
Help him dig.
There's an extra shovel. With it, the two of you make short work of the grave. He tells you about his beliefs, why he's raising apple orchards in the middle of the country. It's a sin to graft, he tells you. Hurts the tree. Eventually, the hole is deep enough. He stoops to the ground and lowers the pup into the earth. Tears flow freely. I'll see him again in heaven, he tells you. Our souls are bound by love. He wipes his eyes. I don't think I can bear to stay here, though. Maybe I'll set out again.
John Chapman, his orchard, and his doggy. Okay, there should be 2 more stories there. See if we can find them. What's this?
As you walk along the river near an unfinished bridge, a man with a tool belt catches sight of you. Hey, over there, he calls out. You look like you could use a quick way to get some hard-earned money. Hard-earned is right. The bridge hangs high over a perilous drop.
Buddy, is it safe?
He laughs uproariously. Absolutely not. High above the water, you see raptors with enormous wingspans wheeling through the sky.
Raptors?
You'll have little more protection than them, the man says. But not much more. His eyes sparkle.
No thanks,
Be
dude.
afraid of heights, he says. Guess it ain't for everyone. Doesn't scare me, though. We Thunderbird people fly when we fall. He grins. A little way down the road, you look back and see he's already halfway back up the scaffolding, utterly at home in the sky.
Good for him. I don't want to die. Really help if the mini-map in the map here had a... Yeah, we're going fine. With my head there pointed to a direction where I was heading.
Against a fence and turns to face you as you pass him by. At his back is a bag full of bird seed. He assures you that the gawky birds perching on his body are the last remaining passenger pigeons.
Ah, a love story.
They look extinct to you?
You're not sure those dull gray pigeons look anything like the pictures you've seen of passenger pigeons. Though you can't help thinking they stare at you a little too intently.
Say, you like birds?
Sure.
They're lovely creatures. Guileless, really. Hunted damn near to extinction, weren't you?
He strokes one of his birds under the tail. You think you see drips of blood flecking the creature's dirty gray head.
Oh, Jesus.
You sense it's about time you start moving on.
You be kind to the little birds now, you hear?
You hurry along the road, though the flapping of ungainly wings seems to follow you for hours.
Okay, let's see the stories we have. So we have two of the Pentacles thing. They're all from the tarot cards. That's how they're put. I gathered 58 out of 200. Boo boy. Three of the stars. Can swap a story. Huh. Oh, the more the eyes open, the better, I think. Right? Yeah, give me the... Interesting. So I have 5 of them, but I can only play with 2, I guess. Jimmy's Parable. The mysterious woman who wanted to go to a church near Montgomery. Family of pig farmers. Okay. Interesting. Ooh, that is fully opened. The blue hole of New Jersey, that's fully developed in, apparently. Interesting. In the Empress. Yeah, so you get more powerful stories and stuff. Interesting. You tell them and the eye opens more. And we met 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 16. Okay. No, map. We should go where? To Michigan. The lovely Mitten State. So the hell. Hopefully this is the way. Whistling gets me faster, apparently. If I could... It's not an important road around here. I'll just have to walk it. I even managed to hitchhike at one point. Need to get too close to the roads now. Cleveland. There we go.
A woman waits while a man in a truck fills 2 of her buckets with scoops of whitish powder from a bin. She sees you staring.
Want to make some cash?
Then
Takes
what?
you up the drive to her farmhouse, where her son and daughter are mixing something in a metal barrel.
Locust bait.
She says,
Poison. The town bought enough for everyone, but we gotta mix it ourselves.
she'll pay
Sure.
you use a broom handle to mix the poison with bran. The teens watch from the porch, faces frozen in distrustful scowls. Her mother pays you well, but later in the day you feel lightheaded, tingling pins and needles all over. You feel only a little better after you vomit.
Oh boy, lost even some health with that one. Let's see if Detroit can help. Coney dog, get our health. And a cola for disease. And no more money. Let's earn some money, see if we can do it. You wander the streets of the town looking for a way to make some cash. Look for work. A tiny woman in the lush fur coat is standing outside a boutique lamp store with package nearly as tall as she is. You there, she calls. Can you lift this? Give it a try. It's huge and unwieldy, but light as anything. Carry it down to my house and we'll work something out. The woman declares. You have the package and follow her. She begins a rambling story about her living room, her interior decoration, her husband's taste in rugs. Fascinating, ma'am. You follow by the sound of her voice, the lamp box so large you can't see anything. Eventually she explains, Here we are. Thank God. You lay the box in her living room. It's nowhere near as luxurious as she makes out sound. A card table, a ranchy couch, and a wall tapestry done in a grotesque imitation of medieval style. This will really tie the room together, she exclaims. At least she tips you. Cool, we have half a buck. Let's explore.
The rain is coming down so hard. It's a wonder the sidewalk hasn't started to crack. You manage to find a narrow patch under a ledge where you can stay dry. A squat man, bundled up in a black fur coat and matching hat, approaches. The thick rain flattens and mats his fur. He squints up at you.
You're in my spot.
Yeah,
He crows.
let's give up the spot. Who cares?
He thanks you as you step aside, back into the rain. You keep walking, hoping to find more shelter. Now that you see the man from a distance, you're not sure the fur is a coat. A pair of red eyes shine back at you.
He was a giant rat.
The rain stops a minute later. You look back up the road, but the squat man is gone.
A red creature in fur coat in Detroit. Lovely. Okay, can leave, I guess. This guy is here. Let's go to the tip there and get that story. Cool. Let's heal.
She waits by the ruined mill, in an overcoat 2 sizes too big.
Look, look, over here. Look at this.
She yells.
This only happens once every 10 years, for Christ's sake.
She grabs your hand, and you both look at the black gear rolling west to cover the sun.
Okay.
Steadily, the darkness draws across the sun until it is almost total. She clutches your hand tightly.
I've never seen this before. I've never seen this.
The sun, obscured, throbs and expands, raging against the night.
Ooh, it's an eclipse.
The eclipse breaks. The sun surges forward, screaming, burning, writhing in torment.
Ah, burn my
Your
eyes.
eyes burn too, as if in retaliation, as if your witness of the sun's humiliation constituted some great insult. You look at her. Her eyes are bleeding.
I actually saw an eclipse. It's not that sudden. It's not, half a second later you're... Well, at least it didn't take part of a heart out of me. In 1999, I think, it was an eclipse here. It was pretty cool. Nighttime during the day. It was mostly like it was overcast during a couple of hours, but that's about it. Total darkness was just a few minutes.
You want to see what I got? I'm not telling.
She raises her eyebrows, encouraging you to pry further. This girl is either very confident or too young to know shyness.
Okay.
Ha! Got you hooked. Too easy.
She twists her lips to one side, mimicking a more adult, thoughtful gesture.
I'll tell you what. I'll show you what's in the basket if you do something for me.
Okay. We don't really have that many Penticles stories. Let's get her.
I want you to kill my mother.
She looks to check if you're paying attention, then points to a figure working at the other end of the field.
She's boring. She keeps making me work when I want to play.
That's fair. We should kill her.
The girl bursts into peals of laughter. She doubles over the basket, laughing so hard she's barely able to stand. When she can speak again, she says,
You should have seen your face. You really should.
She beckons you over, shows you her basket.
Okay.
3 kittens snuggle up at the bottom. They're barely old enough to open their eyes.
Ma gave them to me for being good. I've called them Badb, Matcha, and Anand, after a story Nana told me.
She preens.
I'm very clever, you know.
Indeed. Cool. Basket for kittens. Let's talk to this guy again.
It's a funny thing, someone looking right through you. But don't lie to me, friend. I know you want to know the truth, what it really means to be a porter.
What it really means to be a porter.
Well, I can tell you it's more than making white folks happy. That's just how it's supposed to look. But you go on so long being how you're supposed to, you're not quite sure how to go back to what you are. Though I suppose I can give it a try.
Give it a try, my friend.
You seem like you've seen a few spooky things in your time. Want to share any?
Some spooky time. How about the vengeful ghost? Is that spooky enough for you? I need to change these stories.
Whoa, you're giving me some good material. My brothers will love that one.
Nice.
The past. We porters have to leave the way we used to think behind. Before, we were all just worrying about how to make it through the next day, the next 10,000 miles. But together, we got to put what's behind us, and keep it there. Now that we've got the brotherhood, we porters have a bigger future to think about. Know any good tragic tales? I feel in the mood for one of those right now.
Tragic tales, tragic tales. Mason's loss. Maybe this one is true and tragic. Let's see.
Didn't expect to, but I'm actually tearing up over here. Change? I changed with the job, for sure. You spend so much time on a train, you start to take after it a little bit. Nobody can maneuver, get over, and move forward like a porter. Tell me something that'll make me laugh. I could use a chuckle.
Let's see if we have one of those. About the one with the molasses. Is that amusing? Oh, the girl with the one that we just got. The basket of kittens. You should like that one.
Oh, that's a good one. Very good.
Oh, nice. It is a funny one.
Spirits, to bring each other joy, all railroad folk tell the story of the steel-driving man John Henry. But only us porters talk about Big Old Daddy Joe, the best porter who ever lived. I've always been more partial to that.
Old Big Daddy Joe.
Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good happy story. You got me?
Happy story. I already told him the story about the two brothers. The man that seemed happy with death apparently was a good one. For some reason. We'll see.
A positive attitude. That's what I like to hear.
That's the weirdest one. That guy was fine with dying and then he died.
I guess the future's in our hands. Nobody had ever seen organized black folks before the Brotherhood came along. It's on us to make sure that's how it keeps on going. See, I spend a lot of time thinking, will we be the first black union or the only one? You got any stories with a bit of excitement to them?
Stories with a bit of excitement to them. The bull that terrorized people. No, that one.
Woo, that's a wild one, all right.
Yeah, he liked it.
Authority. You know why they stopped calling us all George?
They were all called George. What?
Some white folks named George got angry, formed a group, and complained about it.
All the porters were called George. What type of stupid idea is that? What the hell, George? The hell? George.
If we didn't even have the power to decide our own names, what did we have? We needed Mr. Randolph and the Brotherhood.
Mr. Randall and the Brotherhood. Okay.
Another night over. I've got to get going.
Holy moly, he went all the way north into Michigan.
But it was good talking to you. And how'd you like that, Sharon? Our dark silhouette's a little easier to make out. Sooner or later, the whole world's got to know what we really are. And what's it really like. That's the only way we're really gonna matter to anyone besides ourselves. And now that you know the bad, doesn't the good sound that much better? Sharing goes both ways, though. Is your truth a little more complicated, too?
See you around, Franklin. Although, me getting all the way back to the tip of Michigan there is gonna take a while with some new stories for you. I go. Oh, Wisconsin, go there, and then go down. We already made Indiana, Wisconsin, Illinois. Tennessee, towards Arkansas, well, that part. As you can see, I'm sort of zigzagging across, top to bottom. Been learning some American states. Yeah, let's go towards Wisconsin. Hold up. That would be to the west. Yep, this way. Oh, maybe you can hitch a ride on the with a car. Do 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 do. Chicago. Really? No idea Chicago was so up north. I really do learn some geography with this game. Hold on. Damn, it's really up north. It's not as north as New York, though. But it's pretty up there. Okay. Still have to go a bit north towards the stories in Wisconsin, though. We'll keep Chicago waiting for a bit while we go to Wisconsin. Who's there? Did we meet that guy before? I don't know. Let's get the stories first. I can get a car, hopefully. Nope. Milwaukee. The policeman in the truck over the... Okay, let's see what story he knows. The terrible king of bulls. Okay, we just said that. Barely said it. Nice. It's the bull that terrorized people.
Ride with us a little while, stranger.
It's a kind offer. Miles of dusty road through the rolling prairies have recast this landscape as an exhausting soup of wind and misery. There are 4 of them on the wagon, a perfect nuclear family. Mother, father, son, daughter, and a small fuzzy terrier trailing behind. But the pace of their movement is glacial. The The draft horse ambles forward, one agonizingly slow step at a
So I guess that's the nuclear family. A mother and a father, a son and a daughter, eh? Perfect family.
Ain't no point rushing to get where we were going.
The wooden cart shivers with every pebble on the road that its wheels must laboriously traverse. The girl in the back pipes up.
The going's the point, see?
Keep with the cart. Yes.
Time stretches wearily. The father sometimes makes half-inch adjustments to the horse's trajectory, keeping him from ambling off the road. There's some intimation that they are heading for Oregon, but at no point is it mentioned when they might arrive.
Who cares? The destination. Okay, so I got the stories. There was supposed to be one here, but sometimes I don't, not able to get them. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you can't get them, but we go south towards the dude. Then I'll go to Chicago and go south. Cassidy, my new guy.
I've met a lot of people like you on this road.
Really?
There's something you want from it, isn't there?
Oh, he's one of those, the Bitkins, or whatever they're called. The Bitniks.
A desire that scratches and scrapes away at the sides of your body. Does being out here feed that part of you? It's that way for me. Living in a state of motion, resting nowhere, returning to no one. I've been a wandering ghost for a while now, and I'll be that way for some time to come. But that's a fate I should have known I was in for. I'm a poet, after all.
Nice.
Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. You know any stories like that?
Sad stories that resonate with your own. The woman with the leather is kind of sad. What about that?
I'm afraid I don't get the joke.
That was funny. I didn't find that funny.
Choice. That's hard.
Apparently
You
that's
know
a
what's right
funny
and what's
one.
wrong? A lot of people do, and I have to say, I wonder about those people. Did someone tell them and they believed it? Did they figure it out for themselves? When things got rough, would they stick to those ideals? Even the strongest of us can shrivel away in the face of the world. Regular folks like you and me can hardly do better. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own. Do you know any stories like that?
Ah, fine. I'll give you the kid.
The tragedy in that story, it's real. Have you ever tried writing poetry? Travel? Well, I've wandered for a long time, but I only feel worse than I did before. I walk and walk, never get anywhere, never solve anything. I'm not even sure what I'm looking for any longer. If I'd known things were going to end up this way, maybe I wouldn't have fancied myself a poet. Turns out, it's a miserable way to conduct yourself, you know? Don't worry about me, though. I'll be fine. Worry about taking care of yourself. Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own.
Oh, Jesus. What's with you and the sadness? About the blues lady. Is that one sad? Let's find out.
That one was like getting locked out in the cold with nothing but your sorrow. I liked it.
Being locked up in the cold with nothing but your sorrow. Of course you liked it.
Bondage. Yes, I've been feeling trapped lately. Oftentimes, I'll notice my brain getting stuck in a rut. I'll think I tried to defy what's normal. So, it makes sense I'd be punished for it. I've been punished by others plenty, but I also punished myself. The more I wander, the better. I can concern myself with food and a place to sleep. Less time to get trapped stewing on the past. Less time to think about what went wrong, how doomed things are.
Doomed, I tell ya. They're doomed.
Sometimes I want to hear a sadness that resonates with my own.
Damn. 3 sad stories in a row. Hmm. How about that one they robbed the burial ground thing? That's sad.
That one was like
It was
getting
sad.
locked out in the cold with nothing but
Okay.
I know sadness. These days, the melancholy just settles over me like a heavy bay fog. It makes its residence with me, and I accommodate it. I start to think, well, the world isn't made for being happy in, not for someone like me. My old friends have their happiness. Jess and Deborah, Pauline, Silas too. Hey, and good for them. It'd be wrong to begrudge someone their happiness, wouldn't it? No matter how jealous you are.
Well, jealous of the other guy's happiness? Not good.
I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of any like that?
The one of the two brothers is pretty optimistic or whatever.
That's a good one. We do reach up like that, towards hope. I had a family. We were close. Me and Jess and Deborah, even Pauline. We had a shared goal in the world. When I think about any of them now, though, I can feel poison rising in my chest.
No, not good.
They didn't do anything wrong. They're all still grand folks. It's just that the situation with Silas ruined my attitude towards them, too. Being jilted plays a mean trick on your capacity for love.
Oh, damn.
I miss the old group. I really do. I still have that image in my head. Pauline's house, the poets, Jess, me. But on top of them all, there's Silas. In my memory, he looms. He haunts. You ever meet someone so far above everyone else? It's like they were from a different plane altogether. That was him. A divine presence among normal human beings. Silas was part of the group, but at the same time, he wasn't. He was better than any of us. Wiser, gentler, stronger. We all held him in respect. We were in awe of his power as a writer, in reverence for the beauty of his soul. I still love him. Look, I'm headed out this way. If you find yourself out there, maybe we'll meet again.
Yeah, he's a sort of a Jack Kerouac sort of a person.
There's something wrong about this lonely farmhouse. The cows have unusual rain over the porch, and the open door shows a cow lying in the empty parlor. The flower boxes are still well tended, though. There's outgoing mail in the box. The moment you step inside the fence, an old woman screams.
Hey! Hey! This is private property!
You quickly realize that the sound is coming from under the porch. Indeed, you can see her hollering at you through the slats of the steps. You can see a parlor set up in the basin under the porch. A flowery armchair, a rug, and a little lacquered table.
This is an inhabited home!
The old lady barks.
The cows live upstairs, and I live down here.
Above, a cow thumps its hoof. She twitches and startles.
Should I chase her for her? Yeah.
Her whole face melts.
Thank you.
She sobs.
Thank you.
With a sharp stick, you carefully urge the 3 cows inside the parlor to exit. Soon the place is completely empty, except for the manure. She still kisses the floorboards in gratitude.
I didn't want to tell anyone. They kept me trapped down there for weeks. I had to sneak out one piece of furniture at a time. At night.
She rushes to lock all the doors.
It was a mutiny.
This lady's insane.
It won't happen again.
Okay, insane lady. Let's go to Chicago. Explore. Maybe earn some money. You wander the streets of the city looking for a way to make some cash. Look for luck. Miraculously, you find one of the first people in line in a factory factory open its doors. Okay. Want to get paid? Get in. Okay. Snakes. Snakes again. Okay. It's again the snakes. These dudes are making boots out of snakes. Then we have our money. Let's explore.
It's the midday, and yet this whole neighborhood is eerily quiet. Everyone seems to have retreated into their homes as if warned of something.
No, this might be with gangsters, being of New York.
The reciprocal
New York,
sound of a
Chicago.
Thompson gun, emptying its drum. You get behind a car, putting the engine block between you and the sound. But it's muffled, coming from inside a building. You're in no danger, you think. So you allow yourself a peek above the black hull of the car. And running down the cobblestone street, a man in fine, blood-spattered clothes. He has his hands out, mouth open, screaming something. But you don't catch what he says. He's drowned out by gunfire, and his body slumps to the ground.
Let's keep watching.
The men responsible, 3 abreast in dark overcoats and wide hats, walk up to him to check on the body. The smallest of the 3 has a nervous energy about him.
People are gonna see us, boss.
People ain't gonna see nothing. Not on these streets.
The killers on the streets? Yeah, that was a gangster story. Okie dokie, let's leave. We could catch a train, we have the money for a train. However, I think we're still... Oh, there's nothing in Illinois. Let's catch a train then. I can hop on a train or I can catch a... Oh! Interesting. Wonder where it's going to take me. Hop on a train. New Orleans. Sure. Oh, they're probably going to beat us. They don't like stowaways. You hop off the boxcar and successfully sneak your way out of the train without catching any unwanted attention. Oh, that's nice. I ended up here without any attention. All the way south. Interesting. Cool. There weren't any stories on this way anyway. Yeah, look at that. Kind of empty. There are a couple here in Arkansas. And we'll go to the north of Louisiana. And I guess this city should have a story. We have everything we need. Anything in the store that we would like? Spaghetti plate, fried chicken, gumbo. Ah, gumbo. Now, let's explore.
Lenny's Antiques has a heady smell. Polish, maybe, or incense. Sunlight doesn't penetrate the blacked out windows. The place is crammed with furniture and curios. The woman behind the counter beckons you over.
I know the look of you. I know what you're here for.
Why am I here?
She sets a tray on the counter. On it sits a hodgepodge of stitched leather pouches of various shapes and sizes. Some have neck or wrist straps looped through them. She waves a hand across the display.
Good luck, Charms.
How much?
I don't want your money. You got something better.
She licks her lips, holds out a flat palm.
Sure.
Her knife is fast. She slices a thin line across your palm, then snatches your hand and squeezes. She catches the welling blood in a murky glass vial. Your vision flickers, and as you blink, the place lightens. Sunlight streams through the windows. You are alone. As you reach the door, a man calls after you.
Is this yours?
His name badge reads Lenny. He's holding up a leather pouch by its strap. You take it and hurry out of the shop.
She took some blood. Well, didn't take any health from me. That's cool. Let's leave. I think... I thought it would give me another one of these in the inventory, but I only have my snake eyes. Sad stuff. Okay. Where to next? North, I suppose. Where is north? That way? Jackson. No, it's fine. That's where we should be going.
Stroll up to you in the street, wearing identical scowls and identical steel-toed boots. One spits in front of you. Don't stay in town overnight, the other says. No vagrants after dark.
Slip rough on the road.
There's
Sure.
no shelter to find on the road, and the night is cold and windy. You doze fitfully under a bush, but at least you're in one piece come morning.
I'm lost a bit of health. I wanted not to lose health by they beating me. Okay, let's see what story this is. The Witch Girl and Her Kitten of Familiars. Okay. That's the one with the girl and the kittens. Still up north. More stories. Arkansas and Mississippi. Memphis. Maybe you can get some health in Memphis. The store, you can buy some health. Blue plate special. Pulled pork. Actually ate some pulled pork. Pretty good. PB&J. It's not even that expensive. Nice. They serve you a heaping mound of it between two slices of white bread. Great stuff. Kind of is. Can we earn some money here? Wander the streets, look for work. Rain, kinda torrential, everyone scrambles for cover. A fellow with a bale of bent and lopsided umbrellas, 10 cents each, he holds. What an opportunist. The rain has soaked him through, though. He's doing a roaring trade. Hey, he tells you, go around on the main shopping streets and pick up all the umbrellas you see, okay? People sometimes drop them when they blow inside. I'll pay. Cool, I'm in. Ah, lost a bit of life. Such is the thing. Well, we're full. We still have full life though. The pulled pork probably helped. Good old pulled pork. Let's explore.
Peabody Hotel. The words adorn the exterior wall, each letter the size of a window.
Ducks.
The lobby is upholstered furniture and gold chandeliers. But such luxury is a mere accessory to the centerpiece. A travertine marble fountain in which 5 ducks swim. A handsome bunch of feathered fellows, all having a nice time in the water. A bellman in a blue cotton uniform, black cane cupped in his hands, takes notice of your interest in the waterfowl.
Would you happen to be here to witness the duck march?
Sure. I watch ducks all the time.
A wide smile crosses the bellman's face.
Oh, a newcomer. Well, this is a little ceremony I introduced. Every day I march these babies into the elevator all the way to the roof. Then I march them back down to this fountain.
Don't they fly away?
The bellman gestures toward the closest duck. You notice now, the ducks have had their flight feathers trimmed, though their beauty remains intact. Now, don't look so concerned.
I spoil them rotten. The feathers will grow back.
Yeah, that's true. The bellman checks his silver watch. It's time. Watch the ducks march. Perfect.
The bellman taps his cane on the marble. Ducks honk up a frenzy and hop out of the fountain. They beat the water out of their wings and waddle toward the elevator, guided by the bellman's cane. Magnificent. What sweet, gentle creatures.
The ducks in the hotel fountain. That was kind of a cool story. And if you're missing ducks, you can see them right here on Tarubo. 24-hour duck stream, baby. Oh no, I did lose my life. Let's get more pulled pork. No, didn't want. I wanted to just go back. I have no more money now. Let's see what this is.
You weren't supposed to see this. Outside town, two men, identical, stand sentry over a third body half covered with a canvas sheet. Might as well grab a shovel, being that you're here, the man in front says. When you hesitate, he makes an appeal to your Christian charity.
Sure, why not? Let's dig someone up.
Grave while his brother stands back, keeping a lookout. Closer now. You see the corpse shares their face. Tom was the oldest by an hour, John says. Oh, I guess George and me, we got a few hours on him now.
Chuckle.
Mean son of a bitch. Beat the life out of us. Did it our folks that way. Got to be too much, so last night we said we'd do him in. George dragged him out here to do it. I would have helped, you know, but George is a strong one out of me and him. Thank Jesus Tom's gone. I thought I'd have trouble saying that, but I don't.
Say a short prayer.
John squints at the body, then freezes. Wait, Tom's nose wasn't bent like that. Despair floods his face. He looks ready to throw up.
Strong brother. Wandering twins. Okay. Let's see this dude. Jeter Jackson.
I suppose most expect a Negro to end up in prison. Yeah, there's two kinds in my estimation. There's a prison with bars, where they lock you up after they decided you've done a crime. And there's also the prison without bars, as everywhere else, if you look hard enough. You got any good happy stories where things work out for someone, maybe?
I think I told you that one though. About the one that seemed alright with death.
Good to hear a story that's more happy than the world really is. Nice.
Incredible.
The future. But what does a body do after they leave prison? Especially when it feels more real on the inside than the outside. But anyway, now I feel like hearing a hopeful story.
Hopeful story. About the dude with run away with his father in Maine. What the hell is that?
Well, if you want to make me weep, it's gonna have to sound realer than that.
It was a sad one. Okay.
Family? It must have been hard for my son without a father. I feel bad for him. Also feel bad for me. But anyway, you know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight.
Ah, okay, we can tell him. He already knows the Quinn story. They're all kind of tragic.
I hear you. My face. Well, there come a time you ask the Lord for so much, you just stop asking altogether. But tell me, what's the wildest thing you've seen out there so far?
Thrilling story. Yeah, before you meet these dudes, you might want to change the stories you have so you don't have the same stories. How about the bus thing? That was weird.
Damn, there's one surprising tale.
Nice.
I'm free now. After all those years of hard labor, they let me go. Kind of felt like being fired from a job. You know any good jokes? Funny tales?
Funny Tales, that's my middle name. There we go.
Look at me. You got me laughing.
Yep, it was the ghost in the bottle.
George? Nothing more satisfying than a routine. Wake up, eat, work, eat, sleep. Regular. Easy.
Easy.
Here's the sun. I got to go.
He's going back to Tennessee.
But if we meet again, I'll be glad to
I think that's where I met him, in Tennessee.
What's a man old in this life, do you think? I never think I ask or want for much. Just food, shelter, fair pay for honest work. Is it selfish? I truly have to wonder. Is it selfish to feel like you're owed anything at all? Even that? Tell me, brother, what was it that you wanted? What did life bring you instead?
Yay! We reached chapter 3 with him. Gonna go west to Arkansas to see that story. Ah, Mr. Lemaniac. Hey, dude. Thank you for the hosty host. No more stories in Missouri. You sound tired? You might be sleepy. Yeah, it's been a long day. It's true. You wanna know how you sound? I only hear you when you're half asleep in Mystic Stream. You're like, "Wah, wah, 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 wah."
Cause when my coals burn low, when my trains run out of track.
Shoot. Yeah, west. Where is west? Can't see the damn wind vine thing. So that's north, south. Okay, this way. across the damn river. Have you finished that damn video, bro? Seems like you've been working on that video more than I've been working on my damned animation. West. Nope, almost done though. Oh. I rewrote that script so many times. Hopefully you made it shorter. Didn't put everything there in the kitchen sink. Tidy it up. Cut the fat, bro.
The bull lounges by this construction site, basking in the bitter sun. Upon his head is a silver crown, shrouded in tongues of pale fire. Laborers periodically wander past, seemingly unconcerned. The bull catches your eye. You realize you've been staring.
Yeah, let's greet the bull.
The bull arches his head languidly away from you. I'm waiting for my friend, he informs you airily. Now all the laborers are stopping and staring. Feeling reproved, you mosey along.
Bull with a flaming crown. What the hell of a story was that? No longer. Okay. You know what I do? So, usually, reading, you're supposed to have something like 150 words per minute. So, when I write my stuff and I'm aiming for a video, let's say a 5-minute video, you do the math. That's what's 150 times 5. That's 725 minutes, 725 words that your script should be for about a 5-minute video. And I think it's pretty damn accurate. It's not, to the second, but if I want to make a 5-minute video, it kind of helps to have like 700 words. So yeah, if you don't want to time yourself reading it and stuff, it's a good approximation. You go to the word count thing there in your whatever it is, Word or whatever, and well, and it's also 150 words per minute. It's also a pretty decent pace, not hurrying along, not too slow. It's a good medium pace. It's going to be 12 minutes or so. It's okay. 12 minutes, okay. Yeah, in YouTube, apparently you should aim for above 10 minutes or so. Huge storm, this farmer gasps, pointing to the clouded horizon. Okay, let's see what story she... Oh, it was something else. Yeah. I cut quite a few things. Yeah, I don't think you should make them longer. I mean, too long. Unless you go for, something like... But you're never going to be able to script an hour or something, If you want to go in depth and stuff, you can go in depth, but You're never going to be able to script that. At least I couldn't. You know, maybe you could. I imagine that. So I've seen people do it in. You know, they do these long ass discussions on movies and games and stuff. They're, I don't know, 1 hour, 2 hour long or whatever. Some are longer than the movie itself, which is hilarious. But I think they're usually, you know, in bullet points and stuff, and mostly they kind of, they don't, it's not like you know, it's not like one person. They're like two people talking and stuff. There's a discussion going on. It's interesting when you look at the way they monetize stuff. With the views and things, you know. You might have, let's say, your 10-minute view, a 10-minute thing there, 12 minutes, whatever, let's say 10 minutes. You need something like 5,000 hours of watch time or something to get monetized. Oh no, 5,000, I think something like that. So you can either, you know, have lots of viewers get see your 10-minute thing, or have less viewers see, you know, a 20-minute thing or a 30-minute thing. But it also depends how much you can catch them. Like, I don't know what's the word exactly. Retention, yeah, that's the thing. YouTube wants your videos to have a retention. I think 10 minutes is, you know, towards okay for regular folk. But, you know, having a retention for an hour video, oh boy. Have something special. Again with the soup line, okay, waiting in the soup line. What story did she find? Trapped ghosts who would turn any faucet. Is the vulgar story of the ghosts trapped in the bottle. That's awesome. Had some ghosts trapped in bottles.
The twisters touched down in a cornfield, fence posts flying in its wake. A huge black stallion charges toward the tornado. On its back, a cowboy whips his lasso through the churning air, nearly matching the twister's speed. His wild laughter carries on the wind.
God damn it, Bill!
Another man hollers, clapping his hands to his hat to keep it from flying off.
Quit being a damn fool!
The man on the horse turns toward him and flashes a beatific grin before digging his heels harder into the horse's flanks.
Let's seek shelter. We need more of these Pentacles stories.
You follow the man in his hat into a root cellar.
Bill's damn good with horses, but he's only happy when he's trying to tame something bigger than himself. What does he think he's gonna do? Ride it?
When the storm clears, Bill and his horse have vanished.
Bill the cowboy who rode the storm. That story's going to grow. Should get some Z's. Not only my character, but me, myself, and I as well. It's Texas? This is cut weird. Texas has 2 colors here. Free. Oh, I guess they were cut differently in the 20s, all these states. That's why they're different stuff. And we would find another dude all the way in Colorado where we could talk all the way. Yeesh, it's going to take a while. Oh no, we have a closer dude here. In whatever city that is, in New Mexico. Anywho, been streaming this game for 3 hours. I read for an hour. I'm a 4-hour stream. Time to stop. Thank you for stopping by, Maniac. Hope you're doing well with your video there. Re-editing, editing and re-editing. Can only get better, no? Getting there? Yep. Have a good night. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Coconut latte.